Right, so I like to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah HaKadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and serious. It's not going to be a long video. Just real quick, I just wanted to put out there, that the U.S. infrastructure, or its false perception of an infrastructure, is collapsing on itself. As you can see on the dead clock, Salakia, as you can see on the dead clock, I'll move it in a little closer. You can see the U.S. total debt is $85 trillion, right? U.S. national debt is about to range up to $29 trillion. So debt is constantly climbing and, constantly accumulating, right? Because the way the society is set up, this society is set and based off debt, right? That's why you have a credit card, and now they're bringing in a digital currency. This is based off debt. The dollar, the fiat dollar, is based on debt, man. That dollar isn't nothing. And you people think so highly of it is because it can buy you a car, it can buy you a boat, it can buy you a house, it can buy you goodly things. But what you people don't understand is that your elites don't care about all this goodly stuff. They only care about total control, meaning control over you. That's why if you dig a little deep into history, the fiat dollar was actually backed by gold and silver. Gold and silver is a price that doesn't go away, right? So if you have a gold coin that costs 50, let's say a gold coin is $50, right? Well, it's gonna stay like that. It's not gonna fluctuate and devalue like the fiat dollar. The fiat dollar becomes devalued because it's not backed by anything. That's why you got a percentage of, I believe in 4 years, you have now a devaluing of, I believe, 7 to 12% within the dollar. So now your current currency is it's not going to be a major power anymore, especially when you have like China and Russia burning the dollar and selling their debt selling the US debt to Japan, right? So we're going to get here in some scriptures, because the thing is that the scriptures tell you that the nations have deceived thee and laid a trap for thee, right? So real quick, let's get this, right? Salakia, bear with me for a second. Right, so real quick, I'm gonna grab this one. This is Psalms, the book of Psalms 69 and 22. It says, let their table become a snare before them, and that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. Because the thing is these devils, they took this fiat dollar and they, package it nice, and they give it to the nation, and then they give it to another nation, and another nation give them merchandise that they need. And these nations, they know that dollar is backed by nothing. They know that it means nothing. So when they do get that dollar, what they do is they burn it. Think about it. Why do these nations take the currency and try to do trade deals with the currency of the U.S. when they're still in their nation using their currency? They really think hard on that, man. And you would think that, okay, so why isn't the nations using the U.S. dollar? Or why this and why that? Because eventually these nations have laid a trap for these devils and making them believe that dollar is going to last for an existing amount of time, or what they will call forever, which it's not. These nations are using the opportunity to crash this dollar and devalue the dollar even more. When a nation go into inflation, that means when a nation goes into inflation, that means that the dollar is becoming devalued. If you look up Zimbabwe, when their dollar became devalued because they constantly printed money, they had to literally carry buckets of money in order to buy water or a loaf of bread. So, America's going to get to a point to where you people are going to riot and protest because the gas prices are going to get too high, right? Your cost of living is going to get too high, on rent. Rent alone went up like $200 more. You know, the houses out here, to own a house out here is now up to $400,000 to $500,000. So this goes to show you that, the dollar is becoming devalued, which means it's pretty much just becoming what is exactly what it is paper, man. And it's been that for years. The moment they took gold and silver out from the picture, that when that dollar became nothing. And then they said, well, you know what, let's turn around and also create what we call the credit card, right? And credit is where the people going to be able to build up their credit. And Salakia, I'm going to get to the scriptures, but let me bring this out real quick. Actually, let me bring this out and then I'll bring out what else I want to say. So Job 18:10, the snare is laid for him in the ground and a trap for him in the way. So there you go. It's a big trap. It's a big setup, right? So again, if you look at the situation, a credit card is created because they say, well, if the person build their credit up to so much money amount, then, they will be able to have so and so much credit. So if he starts off at 200 to 500 credit to spend, then once he build up his credit score up more, then he'll have $11,000 to $20,000, so on and so forth. But every time he goes to swipe that card, it's not going to be money that's going to be taken out of his pockets immediately. It's going to be money that's going to be taken out of his pockets every month, right? So if he can't make the payment, then we'll just send that to collections and it'll affect his credit. So you people, every time you go to swipe your credit card, your ass is in debt. Your ass is in debt. That's why there's so much debt accumulated, because that's what these devils are also doing as well. They go and they pay for things that they can't afford, and they're in debt highly with I want to say Japan or China, one of those, but you can look it up for yourself. But yeah, man, a trap is laid for these devils at the end of the day. So your whole financial infrastructure is crashing on you, and any day now, people are gonna wake up to economic crash, stock market crash. These things are going to happen, man. Actually, let me grab this one. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter. Like I said, it's not gonna be a long video. I'm pretty much about to end it after this one. But Ecclesiastes 12:3, and the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. So work is gonna come to a stop altogether as well, right? So all of this building, because what's gonna happen is that once America really get into that rabbit hole, you're gonna see a lot of the infrastructure stop. From putting new pipes in, from covering the holes, with new concrete, from these people who building these homes. They're gonna stop because things are gonna get more expensive. And when you got doctors and all these lawyers and whoever and so whatever is in real estate, and they're spending $400,000 to $500,000 to build a house, they're gonna turn around and try to put that to a stop and try to save money, because of the cost of living is gonna go up. Why do the cost of living go up? Because the dollar becomes devalued, right? So it's really becoming exactly what it is. which is nothing. So it says, in a day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, when a sign of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low too. Why? Because how do your music stars and all of them, your rappers and your singers, how do they make money? Through people, right? Through people coming to their concerts. But if people don't make money because of the jobs are closed down or because people don't want to work, then guess what? People aren't going to be spending 60 to $100 on a goddamn ticket, man. So real soon you're going to start seeing these things taking effect on a major way, on a high level, and you're going to see your whole U.S. infrastructure crash, man. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and say, Lord willing, this was edifying. Yahweh Shem Shabrakatah. Shalom.